Although ejections are relatively common in the NBA, it's not often you see two players kicked out of a game in a blowout. Usually, that's when bench warmers come in and make the most of what little minutes they're given. And in March 2011, during a game between the Suns and the Thunder, that's exactly what Zabian Dowdell was trying to do when he finally got the chance to prove that he belonged in the NBA, given that he'd only been in the league a few months after signing with Phoenix in January that year, first on two 10-day contracts before the team signed him for the rest of the season in February. However, instead of highlighting his talents, Dowdell, along with his teammate Aaron Brooks, ended up getting ejected under the strangest of circumstances.
And Aaron Brooks just got thrown out. Yeah. Ken Mauer's had enough. So, Brooks, wow.
Where's Dowdell going? He's off the floor as well.
Threw him out too. Threw them both out.
Dowdell was ejected first, and when asked exactly what happened after the game, he was vague.
Disrespect me, but I can't really say much more than that. I mean, I've been told not to speak about it, so can't really say a whole lot about it. But
although Dowdell refused to elaborate on the strange incident, a journalist who was sitting courtside during the game explained what happened, which had to do with offensive language from the referee. Dowdell's ejection came after he confronted Mauer and asked if he'd call him that off the court. Brooks was then ejected after touching his shorts, which Mauer interpreted as an obscene gesture.
You know what? There was a certain pose that Brooks was striking.
Later, in April 2011, both Mauer and Dowdell were fined by the NBA. The league didn't believe that Mauer used the language that Dowdell and the nearby journalist claimed, but they said that Mauer's actions were still deemed to be inappropriate. Ultimately, following the game, Dowdell wouldn't get too many more opportunities to prove himself in the NBA. All up, his professional basketball career would span from between 2007 and 2020 after he'd been left unselected for the 2007 NBA draft. But he'd only spent a small amount of that time in the NBA during that period, as he ended up playing just 24 official games for the 10-11 season while representing the Suns, averaging around 5 points, 2 assists, and almost a steal per contest in around 12 minutes of play before being waived by the team in December 2011. Ultimately, given that his NBA career was so relatively brief, Dowdell's strange ejection is really all he's remembered for, if he's remembered at all. But there was some karmic justice for Mauer over his questionable ejections of Dowdell and Brooks beyond just the fine. With the increased attention over the strange ejections, the media delved into Mauer's background and soon discovered that he was a convicted felon. Back in 2000, he'd been found guilty of 3 counts of tax evasion and 1 count of obstruction of justice relating to income from air tickets that he sold. Mauer served 5 months in jail, 5 months of home detention, 3 years of supervised release, and 800 hours of community service, something that the general public probably would have never discovered had Mauer not, again, made another terrible lapse in judgment when he ejected Dowdell and Brooks for questionable reasons.
Ken Mauer, I haven't seen an umpire with a "you're out" move.
Threw them both out.
Kenny Mauer's.
Where's Dowdell going? He's off the floor as well.